Hey guys, this week on Kombativ, you get to choose from 4 different weapons that you could use to survive the apocalypse. But before we begin, if you just like this video and subscribe to our channel, that would be awesome. So how are you guys doing today?
Fantastic, excited.
Good. Well, I have been sick for the last, 10 days, something like that.
The first time I've seen you sick in a couple of years.
You know, that's so funny because I typically have a very strong immune system, but during the holidays, I just started eating all this garbage, and that just brought down my immune system. I got sick, so I'm so sorry there wasn't a video last week. I wanted to so bad, but honestly, today is the first day that my voice didn't sound like Batman. So I actually feel pretty good today. I think this is gonna turn out to be a pretty good video, but I'm gonna try to include you guys a little bit more just so I don't have to talk quite so much.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love inclusion.
So in our last video, I showed off our most popular weapons from 2024. And then I asked you guys to vote for which one you liked best. And you guys went to the community tab and chose the spring-loaded bow staff. Excellent choice, guys. I love this weapon. I guess I'm a little bit biased because we manufactured this ourselves, but to be completely honest, we see a lot of weapons down here, and I love this weapon because it's so different from everything else you see. So it's a very, very cool weapon. But I'm gonna put this away, guys. But this week we're gonna do something very different. I want you to close your eyes and imagine something. I can see you on the other side of that screen. Your eyes are not closed. Close your eyes and imagine. You wake up in a post-apocalyptic world. Nuclear bombs have gone off all around you, and everything you know has been destroyed. There's no guns, there's no ammo, there's no animals, and there's no humans anywhere that you know of yet. And so you start to explore this post-apocalyptic world. And strangely, as you're walking around, you find this table that's been sitting there unharmed by nuclear explosion. And it's got 4 tools on it that you can choose from to survive the apocalypse. But you can only choose one. So I asked Amanda to go back into the warehouse and find some of our most popular weapons that would also be excellent tools in an apocalyptic environment. She's boxed them up for me, so I don't know what they are. And as usual, there's links in the description so you can find out more information on each of these products. But without further ado, Amanda, what is our very first weapon?
Hey guys.
Awesome, awesome. And I'm gonna be asking you guys too which one you would choose. So let's see, let's just grab a knife off of here. I'm gonna grab this guy today. It's an interesting knife. I think this is one of the ones we chose not to carry, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, it does look a little bit cheap, but I think it'll be fine for opening a box. Okay, and one other thing I want to mention is when I asked Amanda to go find the products this week, I specifically told her to not find our most high-end products. I wanted her to find products that you might find hanging in a shed in an apocalyptic environment. So these are not going to be our best steel or anything like that, but these are really good, cool weapons for you to use in an apocalyptic environment. So without further ado, the very first weapon Amanda chose for us is the full tang Nata Machete. Excellent choice, Amanda. I absolutely love this one. That's a great choice for a post-apocalyptic weapon. I like that. For those of you who don't know, a nata is a tool that's been used in Japan for hundreds of years for clearing brush, for chopping kindling, for pruning trees, but it also makes an excellent weapon. But let's take a look at this one. So first off, we can see that it comes with this nylon sheath, and I kind of like it because it's got this little shoulder strap on there. So it makes it very comfortable if I were to be traveling around. I like that. And then you can also tell that it does have a little belt loop here, so we could hang it from the side of our body if you wanted to. And then one other thing I noticed about this, it's a little bit different from some of the other nylon sheaths we carry, is it's got this kind of rigid plastic on the inside, which is nice because some of the less expensive ones are just nylon down here. So the tips of the blades go through them, and this will keep that from happening. So I do really like that aspect of it. But let's take a look at the blade itself. So I'm gonna open this up. That's pretty. That is pretty. That's right cool. There.
I like it, I like it.
So I love the style of this blade, and not all Nata have this style of blade, but a lot of them do. And it's known for this kind of flat end right here. And what's so great about that is it makes a very sharp point up here. So you can cut through things really easily with that. The other thing that's nice about that too is, let's say we're clearing brush, you can use that flat end to kind of push through brush and then chop. So it's just kind of nice in that respect. But if we take a closer look at this, we can see that this is made from one solid piece of full tang 3CR13 stainless steel. So that is going to be corrosion resistant for you. And again, this isn't a high-end steel, so this weapon's going to be very inexpensive. The other things I notice is we've got this paracord wrap on the handle, which is very comfortable. There's obviously some sort of cushion on the inside, which makes it a little bit more rounded, so it's very comfortable in my hand. I also like the fact that this is paracord, which is also nice because if we needed rope for more utility tasks, we have that available to us. We could use it for pitching a tent or use it for hanging some food off the ground, could come in very handy. We can also see that there is a hole in the blade up here, which would be nice because we could hang it in our shed or something if we wanted to, so I like that. And then we can also see that there is a choil in the blade right here, which generally if you're going to be chopping with a machete, you're going to be chopping down here, but the choil is nice in case we're doing more utility tasks like shaving the bark off a tree. The other thing that's really nice too is if we're sharpening this, you're going to be able to sharpen right here because of the choil. You're not going to worry about hitting this area where your handguard is, so that's nice as well. And 3CR13, one of the problems with 3CR13 stainless steel is that it's generally not very good when it comes to edge retention, but I find it extremely easy to sharpen. But for a weapon like this, you're going to be used more for chopping, probably not so much for slicing. So I think 3CR13 is going to be a fine steel for that. Plus, it's very inexpensive. Now, the blade length is approximately 14 inches. The overall length is approximately 20 inches. And the machete weighs approximately 1 pound, 2.6 ounces. So that's a really nice weight for the machete. The only other thing I forgot to mention is that there is a lanyard hole on the end of this. So that would allow you to add a wrist strap if you wanted to. But that's about all I have to say about this. What do you guys think as far as a post-apocalyptic weapon?
Natas are honestly my favorite machetes, so.
Are they? They are really nice.
Yeah.
My favorites are the ones here that have this, that when it's solid all the way down and you can rewrap that handle easily. I love that.
Yeah, true. Absolutely. So we could rewrap that handle in anything if we wanted to. We could use the cord for something else. Yep. Love that. Excellent point. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and put this away, and let's move on to our next choice. Awesome. Thank you, Amanda. Okay, let's see what we got next. Ooh, yeah, this is a good one. Okay, and our next weapon is the Stealth Double-Bladed Axe. Awesome, awesome. So axes are not only a great weapon, but they would also make an excellent survival tool. You could use them for chopping trees or all sorts of different survival tasks. So love this choice, Amanda. Excellent. But let's take a closer look at this one. So first off, we can see that this does have a really nice heavy-duty sheath to it. I actually really like the looks of that. And then we've got this kind of belt loop on the back, so we could hang it from the side of our body if we wanted to. But let's check out the blade itself on this guy. So you open this thing up. That is cool. That is really, really cool. So we can tell that this is a double-bearded axe. And the nice thing about the beards down here is that you can use them to pull a weapon from someone or pull a shield out of the way before you strike. So when it comes to something like a battle axe, that's actually a very important feature to have, is those beards. Now, looking at this a little bit closer, we can see that the handle is made of that nylon fiber material that I love so much. And we can tell that the tang on this comes down to about here. And the thing is, if this was a wooden handle, that might bother me a little bit. But the fact that this is that nylon fiber material that's so durable, this thing's going to hold up just fine for you. That's not going to be a problem at all. So I love that. Now the axe head is made from a cast stainless steel with a black finish to it. And look how thick that stainless steel is. That thing is not going to break easily at all. Some of the things I notice about it that are so great too is we've got these little points up here, which are so great if we're throwing these. And I love to throw this style of axe. It sticks so nicely. In fact, if we look at the handle, we've got these little thumb rises here, which I've found in the past to be the perfect placement if you're gonna throw an axe. So I think this would be a great throwing axe. The blade itself is actually extremely sharp, so that's nice. And then we can see that we've got these little ridges and grooves on the handle, so that gives us excellent grip for our weapon. Only other thing I notice is we do have some venting in the blade up here, which takes off a little bit of weight of the head of the axe, and it gives it a nice aesthetic appeal. So that's pretty cool. Now the axe weighs approximately 1 pound, 13 ounces, but the entire weight of it is in the head, which is actually really nice for when we're throwing it. So, and if we want a little bit more force when we're cutting down branches or trees. So pretty cool. The blade lengths are approximately 5.5 inches, and the overall length is about 17 inches. So that is a really nice size for this little axe. Now, based on these last two weapons, which one would you choose so far in post-apocalyptic world?
I'm always biased towards an axe.
Axes are awesome.
I'm not taking the axe, because in a post-apocalyptic world, that is going to curse me to a life of collecting wood. That's what's going to happen.
Wow, that is great comment. Great comment. Absolutely love it. I'm curious to see what people are going to be putting in the comments too on this video. That'll be good. Yeah. Okay, but I think that's about all I have to say about this, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go ahead and put this away. Move on to our next one. Thank you. Ooh, a little one. Okay. Wasn't expecting a small weapon for our post-apocalyptic adventure. Let's see what Amanda has for us today. Okay, here we go. Our next weapon is the Behemoth Folding Kukri. Okay, I saw you guys show this off on Weapons Wednesday on the Karate Mart YouTube channel.
Yeah,
so
we did this. We did this for a while.
it was cool. It was neat. Okay, cool. So for those of you who don't know, a kukri is a large knife that has a recurve style blade, and it's similar to a machete in the sense that it's used for cutting crops, chopping kindling, but it's also commonly used as a weapon in countries like Nepal and other areas throughout the world. But let's take a look at this specific kukri. So the thing I like about it first off is it's a little smaller than a standard kukri we'd see. I think it would still be effective because it's got a big enough blade, but I love the fact that we could just close it up, throw it in our pocket, very compact in a post-apocalyptic world. So that's kind of a cool advantage of this. We can see that this does have really nice textured G10 scales. So that's going to be very slip resistant, very comfortable in my hand. I like that. We can also see that it's got a very thick steel liner on there. I like the back of this liner too. That's cool. It's got this kind of texture to it that almost works like jimping. So we'll have to try that in a couple different grips to see how that works. You can see that we've got a flipper on here and then also a nail nick here in case we want to open it. So let's go ahead and open that up, see how it looks. Very nice. Oh, and then I noticed too, see that little spring right there? So clearly a spring-assisted blade. Very nice, very comfortable, very fast opening. And then I noticed we've got a very thick and durable liner lock on there. So that thing is going to hold up for you very nicely, not going to break easily at all. This is a really well-made weapon for how inexpensive it is. This is actually an extremely inexpensive knife. So the blade itself is made from a stainless steel with a satin finish to it. So that is going to be corrosion resistant for you. We can also see that there's venting in the handles here. So that just takes off a little bit of weight, gives it a more aesthetic appeal, which is nice. And then we've got some jimping on the spine of the blade and on the back of the handle there, which give me excellent control. So I really like that. So far, I'm not seeing anything I dislike about this. And then there's also a lanyard hole at the end, so we could add a wrist strap if we wanted to. Now the blade length is approximately 4 3/4 inches. The open length is approximately 10 3/4 inches, and the closed length is approximately 6 inches, and it weighs only 8.6 ounces. So that is a really nice lightweight for this little kukri. Love this. Okay, so where are you guys at now as far as which weapon you'd choose?
Mine's still the axe.
Still the axe.
I would have that as like a secondary weapon in my pocket if you could choose two.
If we could choose two, but that's cheating. We can't choose two. Now, what would you say, Ian?
Okay, so I like this one, and when we did it on Karate Mart, I said the same thing. I said it's for clearing, clearing brush.
Yeah.
And one of the guys in the comments said it's for clearing your enemies. And I said, yes, that's what it's actually for.
Yes, but we don't know if there's any enemies in this post-apocalyptic world yet. So.
I like a knife. I think they're useful.
I like a knife too. Yeah, the axe would be great, but I have much more training in knife fighting, so I would be able to defend myself better in knife fighting. So I do like this. This is pretty cool. I'm very curious to see what people will say in the comments and on the community tab. But that's about all I have to say about this. So let's go ahead and put this away. Move on to our next weapon. Thank you, Amanda. All right. Okay, and our last weapon of the day that you can choose from is the Dark Reaper Tactical Kama. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, a kama is a traditional Japanese tool that's similar to a sickle that's used for cutting crops. but they also make an excellent weapon. But let's take a look at this one. So first off, we can see that it does have this really nice heavy-duty nylon sheath on it, and it does have a belt loop there, so we could hang it from the side of our body if we wanted to. And I actually like how it unhooks here. It's just one little strap, so you could get that blade out very quickly if you needed it. That is a pretty looking comma. I like that. I guess the thing that I admire the most about this right off the bat is the ergonomic handle. We've got a very comfortable handle down here in case we were cutting crops. If we wanted to move our hand up onto this thumb rise right here, we could use it for more control in case we're in a combat situation. We also have this thumb rise here in case we want to use this for more utility tasks. Now the handle, once again, is made from that nylon fiber material that I love so much. And you can see that the tang comes down to about here, which would be a problem if this was a wooden handle, but because this is that fiberglass reinforced nylon, that thing's going to hold up just fine for you. Now the blade is made from a stainless steel with a black finish, so it is going to be corrosion resistant. The blade itself is sharp. The tip could be a little bit sharper. And then you can see that we've got some venting in the blade up there, so that just gives it a better aesthetic appeal, which is kind of nice. The other thing I like is that we can see that this is a paracord wrapped handle, so we could take off that paracord if we wanted to and use it for survival tasks if we needed it. And then we can also see that there is a lanyard hole at the end of the handle, which already has that wrist strap through it, so that's nice to know that we have that available to us. The top of the head length is approximately 8.5 inches. The overall length is approximately 15.5 inches, and this weighs about 1 pound, 1 ounces. So, where are we at, guys?
I think that one's the most practical.
You think the comma's the most practical? For cutting crops, I can definitely see that.
And you can also use it for combat.
Yeah.
Every other purposes, so.
Yeah.
Without knowing if there's enemies present, I'm taking the knife because I think that that has the most utility. But if there are enemies, I'm taking the comma.
Wow. Okay. I am very curious to see what our audience says today. So make sure you guys go to the community tab and vote for which weapon you like best this week. If you enjoyed this video, that you liked this video and subscribe to our channel, check out Kombativ.com because we've got all sorts of awesome weapons on there right now. But until next week, stay combative. But guys, we're not really in a post-apocalyptic world. You don't need to be too combative. Let's show love.